Eric, a freelancer here in San Antonio, introduced me to this telescoping chair. Perfect for on-set work. Folds up into this small disc. It'd be great for interviews, sitting at a tripod. Package of these Velcro carabiners. I only wanted one specifically to loop around the fluid head so I can hang the live view off of up here versus hooking the carabiner around one of the legs. Tends to bind up here when I have to adjust the height on the sticks. And I saw one of the staffers at News Nation had one mounted around the head, and it looked like a better solution. Jamie from Los Angeles. Thank you, Jamie. I've said many times, and I stand by it, that working out in production, video, audio, it's a perishable skill. If I don't shoot every week, I start to lose my edge. And I kind of fell victim to that up on this Dallas shoot with the 5-panel. People lav mic'd, hardwired mics, where I was the audio guy, which, as you know, is not something I do on a regular basis. But we were set up ahead of schedule, ready to go, on standby. We had our first group come in, I think it was 4 people, and they got there late, and immediately one of them was like, we gotta go now, like kind of insinuating that the crew was holding them up. And just like panic, like, I gotta get to a meeting, I can't be here right now, we gotta shoot this really fast, go, 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 go. And that affected the cadence at which I work. Now, in the past, when I was shooting 2 to 6 days every week, I would be like unfazed by the celebrity talent or a stressed corporate person telling me to hurry. Like, I'm fast, I'm efficient, we were ready to go. I just literally gotta pin a lav mic on 4 people, we hit record. You're not waiting on us. But that kind of got to me. It stressed me out a little bit, and I started rushing, and that caused like cables to, get kinked and snagged on people's clothing as I'm wiring them up. And then when I stepped over to the next chair, my foot hooked on. I didn't realize my toe was wrapped around this Sanken cable down at the XLR at the floor, and it tugged on it and broke the mic. So we took it apart on site. There is one disconnect here at the TA5. I'm hoping it's that simple and I can just solder on, resolder it. I ordered some ultrafine tips. But there's also a kink a couple inches down from the capsule, a little bulge in the cable, and I'm fearful it also got broken up there, in which case I think it's too close to the capsule to salvage the mic. But I'm going to try soldering this and see what happens. I do recommend keeping a soldering iron in your van. I have one in the truck, but it's a cheap one, and the power cord got, it's in my tool chest. At some point, I think it was last year, the power cord got cut by the drawer sliders, and I haven't replaced it. I'm going to order one today. But I've had this Weller iron. This is like a buy once, cry once. High quality, known brand, variable temp. I bought this about 20 years ago. I mean, I don't use it a whole lot, but it's certainly built and repaired a lot of cable over the years. And if you don't know how to solder, just hop on YouTube. It's an easy skill to pick up. You just watch a couple of how-tos and practice. Really, it's all about getting your items up to temp and tinning properly, but I'll save that for other YouTubers to show you the specifics. Well, Amazon said that these tips were Weller compatible. They're not, so I used some sandpaper to grind down this old tip, actually put a hole in it, but I was able to repair the connector, get it in the mixer. Sounds good, it's a little distorted, but I think I just have a gain issue here. Check, oh yeah, gain problem. Back that off and take a quick listen. Coming down. Check 1, 2. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Mic check. No buzzing. No clickies. I'm just gonna jiggle this a little bit. There was a little bit of stress on the wire. I had to resolder because I had to strip it back a little bit, so it's a little shorter than the other 2. But I looped the old ones so that the stress restrain is taking the load versus the short wire. But yeah, I think we're good. Next project, 1 year procrastination. I bought these last winter. I got 12 of these canless LED lights. My garage has 1 socket. It is unworkably dark in here when the sun sets. Oh, look at that crack. That's new. That's from me walking around up there. Oh, well, that sucks. Well, anyway. So I don't know if I'm gonna use all 12, but I think like two on the center line and 2 on this side. So I'll get some better lighting in here. I think I have enough Romex. Yeah, that's enough to get it done. So I'm just going to branch off of this can I'll leave that box in place and I'll just put a flush cover on it. I actually have one of those covers somewhere in one of these bins. One of those two bins. All right, here goes. All right, first one in. It's not wired out. Just drilled the hole. Well, it appears after you've drilled 2 holes, the set screws get loose and the blades slide. All right, 6 lights, much improved. Pretty good. These are all flush and clean. I just have one bad one. I did have an old plate. It's pretty beat up. It came out of another house, but it's legal. This crack got worse. I managed to make a second crack. It's not as big. Where is it? Where is it? Right there. And this is where my hole saw. The bits, set screws came loose and it ended up making a hole bigger than the light. So I don't know how I'm gonna patch that. I wanna see if I can, if they make like a canless light step down ring. Quick trip down to the border, Eagle Pass, Texas. We got there a little bit early. The following days, the volume picked up quite a bit. But for my trip down there, this was actually the busiest I've seen it. And we had a pack of about 300 staged while we're shooting B-roll. And then we went down the road to another hotspot where I think there's actually more activity currently, and picked up another group. I was just a passenger on this one, but I did shoot a little B-roll that I managed to sell to a couple of media outlets. Basically paid for my taco dinner and the $20 of junk food I bought at the gas station. In addition to that, I shared some of my shots with News Nation correspondent Allie Bradley. Allie put together this quick report on Twitter. Tonight in Eagle Pass, hundreds of migrants are waiting to be transported, processed after crossing illegally. There are more than 300 who just crossed at one location, according to Winter's camera, who's on site. Sources say nearly 3,000 people are entering this sector daily. It's drizzling there and about 60 degrees tonight. You can see them bundled up in Mylar thermal blankets distributed by Border Patrol, and then cited, via David Winters, freelance photographer on the ground. So yeah, we got the head count from local law enforcement, but they didn't want to be on camera. The 3,000 for that particular day. Up to that point, this was about 7:30 in the evening, and it picks up after dark. And 300 head count at the 2 locations where I shot B-roll, both of which had about 300. So 600 just in my few drone clips here, and then shots on the ground from down the road by the pecan farm. What I thought was notable about this Twitter post, I never really paid any attention to Twitter until Elon bought it, and more recently just to get info on the border. It seems to be the fastest source for just checking out conditions at given particular spots. But anyhow, this is, to this point, it's a week later, but 71,000 impressions. I think it was at like 65,000 within 4 or 5 hours of this posting. But the thing that kind of made my day was, of the 558 retweets, 2 of these are sitting members of Congress, one from Texas and one from Arizona. So yeah, I got a little satisfaction out of that just a little bit of work I did here on my day off resulted in getting the attention of a couple of members of Congress who are very active with the border situation. But anyway, kind of cool. Validates one's efforts. December downtime, putting in a little 8x6 shed in this unusable side yard area. I extended this fence last spring. It used to stop at the fence post here, so I went out about 10 more feet on this side yard. Now, HOA says I can't put a shed here, and it cannot be a metal shed. It has to be the same facade as the house. Well, I'm not going to do a red brick tool shed, so I'm ordering a little Amazon metal shed. It's only 6 foot high, and my fence up there is 6 foot high, 6.5 feet tall. Left side 6 foot, so the neighbor will see it a little bit, but it should be like totally concealed from the street. My goal here is to put things that don't need to be climate controlled that I currently have in storage, plus my garden tools, are going to go in this shed. Now, learning from my last shed fire, anything with gasoline will not go in this shed. Well, there is a fix for a hole that's too big. It's called a goof ring. Comes in a 5-pack. I was thinking I only needed one, but it turns out you actually need two. You know, obviously, one on each side of the hole. And fortunately, I was able to slip the light in there without having to crawl up into the attic.
Come on, buddy, let's go to Texas.
Where he was celebrated once again, this time by the citizens he served.
American Airlines, please join me in welcoming John on board and express our gratitude.
But no kind of accolade could compete with what was to come.
Come here, Bubba's. Oh, look at you. Hi, Bubba's.
I got you hugging that light stand in my last one.
Dude, I looked at that picture again.
It's so ridiculous.
So miserable.
Uh-huh. Captured the moment.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
Is there going to be cameras pointing up the porch? No, out of the way, be up on the And then what I think we should, hey guy, what I think we should do, spot, you just follow.
I'll just go with it. Yeah.
Just go with it and make that, because you got a wide on that.
Yeah.
So just make that thing.
I plan on stopping.
Feel good charity piece for end of year. So reuniting a retired military dog with his former handler that's still active duty in the Air Force. Full disclosure, I was not working for NBC or the Today Show. They had their staff photographers here, 3 photographers with 3 cameras, to put their package together that aired the following Friday morning. I was assigned or booked through American Humane, shooting a media kit for them to distribute as, I guess, essentially a video news release to all the other media outlets. Air Force gentleman in the blue polo is combat cameraman covering this story for the military. That is the NBC Crew's sound kit. In my description, there's a link to the Today Show package here on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's a nice story.
It's exciting to be able to watch her grow up with him in the house, so, and to see them grow together and how their relationship blows.
Like humans, canine veterans often retire with health issues that require expensive medical care, and the government does not cover these costs. That's why American Humane pays all the veterinary bills for the working dogs that we bring home, ensuring that these canine veterans have a comfortable and dignified retirement.